Welcome everybody to Indiana. Today we're going to be pruning everything we can see. So if you watched any of my videos in the past about pears or peaches or maple trees or any of that stuff, currant bushes, elderberry, we're going to be pruning them all, talking about some of the propagation that we can do, some of the reasons why we're cutting them a certain way, and let's get it done. One of the first ones that we need to cut down is this maple tree, and we're gonna, it really doesn't matter where we cut that one. I'm sure it will regrow both from the main trunk there and from the ground, and we'll grab that up and get it in our brush pile so it's not a tripping hazard. We have a couple other things in here. There's a walnut, and we want to make sure that these trees don't get so tall that they start messing with our fencing and our little ceiling here. See, this one's already part of it. And we had thought at some point that a living tree would be able to replace that post, and that might still happen. However, like, we don't want it messing up our ceiling right now. Is already part of it. So that will be able to grow, branch out, get thick, and maybe, 5-10 years down the road, it will replace that if for some reason that goes bad. And also, we got a couple of maple trees in here, and this was supposed to be a protected area where we had some goji berries and aronia berries, and it has gotten a little bit too much. So, chop that. Got this one over here. We want stuff growing. It's not that we don't want things growing, because the more that's growing, the more fertile everything is, and the more energy is going into the soils. But we want this goji berry to be the main plant with some grasses and flowers, not to be shaded out by these maples. Hi, Miss Bird. You approve? Oh yeah, we're good, huh? Okay. And here we got one more. I forget what was. Oh, this is a hascap. I know it's through the fencing. It's a little bit hard to see, but that is a hascap. That should have berries on it pretty soon here, actually. But we got to get in and try and cut this as much as we can with the camera. Beautiful. And then, see how that's already like so intertwined and becoming one with. I'll have to put the camera down and put that up, fix that. But we want this protectant cage to stay, and we want things like sunflowers in here with hascaps, not maple trees. And really the decisive thing is having a brush pile, because trimming it all, especially with a battery powered little pruner, is easy enough, but then collecting all that stuff and getting in a brush pile or getting in the back of a truck and bringing it to, like, we have a green cycle in town, and it's free for homeowners to bring their brush off, or you can have maybe leave it out in the alleyway and the city will eventually pick it up. But we have a couple more things to prune in there, and then we'll get out into the forest. Bark, 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 bark. With my pruners. Alright, so goji berries. You can see they have grown quite a bit. Hopefully you can see overall the size of it. I just wanted to do a couple of heading cuts, not to kill it or nothing. I just wanted to invigorate it and make that plant push out a lot more energy from the roots into smaller stems. That way there'll be a lot more branching off in that plant. So same as over here. No need to worry about killing the plant or hurting it. Or this is actually the healthiest thing you can do for most trees and bushes. And that's it. The next plant will be these apple and peach trees. We have a row of them here. I think that's an apium right in the center of the screen. But the good thing about trees is, even though they cost more usually, they're bigger, there's a lot more, stress involved, is if you get $10 fruit trees from Walmart, then you don't worry about it so much. You just do what you've read in books and keep everything pruned down short, so that it grows healthy and well, and it's really just more function over form. But This is along a walkway, so kind of doing a spalier type of deal, two-dimensional deal with it. It's gonna work pretty well. That's an American walnut. We'll just see how that grows. I'm not too worried about juglones. Now this one is a peach, Georgia peach. Another $8, $10 tree. And it seems to be doing pretty well. And this was our nursery branch from last year. So like none of this was really here. It was 5 foot taller and we just cut it in half. And all of this stuff grew. But we don't need this anymore. And that's actually hurting both the look of the tree and the function of the tree. So we're just gonna cut this to the outside bud and snip off this waste and cut this one because it's going the wrong direction. And we'll just do there, we'll just cut that. Then that one. Okay, so that's about all I'm gonna do with that tree. We'll see. It's I lived a haggard life in old Walmart parking lot, and we're just trying to get it to come back decently healthy. And it grew quite a lot last year. This year we expect it to be 8 foot tall by the end of the year. Now if you have one like this is an apium, and this has got branches all over the place. You got lower branches here, this one coming forward, another one, main branch. You can kind of tell the color difference between last year's growth and what was there before. And it's really done quite a lot. So the question is, do I preserve this or do I preserve all of that? And because I want small fruit trees, I'm going to preserve the bottom and hope for another bud to branch out on the left to even out the tree. And that's what we're going to do. Yep. Snap. Done. So that's how you prune some trees. We will finish pruning this. I just was taking a second to look and think that if I almost should cut that off. But I was just thinking, without hacking too much into it, maybe I could just do the simple, like whatever's in the center, cut it out, and then just shorten it overall. I think that'd be the way to do it, because it's just, this one's not good where it is. And I think just prune it to an outside bud at about the same height. This one here, and let the tree kind of figure it out without me doing too much. This, let's get rid of that, and that should be good. And that again is a Flavor Delight apium. Okay, well, moving on. The next tree in our little row here is an apple. And you can see it's, necrotic. So all this is dead. This could maybe bounce back to life if I cut this here. But with these types of things, as it's dying, you just worry about it poisoning more. Yeah, you see all that? So it would be best. I know it's, I might not even be able to get anything out of this tree again. But if I prune it for what's living and give it a chance to put on some leaves, perhaps some of these other buds will come up. And I'm kind of expecting that I'm going to chase this necrotic tissue, whatever, down. So hopefully we'll get a couple of buds down here, and then next spring or maybe in the summer we can just cut it there to stop that spread. But sometimes that's what you get with a 10-year-old tree those sitting in Walmart. Nope, we just have a peach and then an apple, and then we're done. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's a peach, so we'll do it to open center and chop, and we'll minimize the height a little bit. And there's a couple more, let's see, there's a couple dead branches in here, I guess, that we could kind of take off. I don't know what's, not really that big of a deal. It's more about letting the tree have a little bit of air, have a chance to work on itself. Just trying to help it as best we can with a minimum amount of cuts. And then this one, apple, it's just about the same, but that might be the end of the icky tissue. And we'll see if this can heal over. Chop that. I know it's gonna keep growing to a central leader. I'm just trying to be difficult and stop it from doing that, because I would like to have apples form right here, not up there. So another one, and another one. Not too crazy, not too fancy. If we get some fruit on this tree this year, I bet we will, and that'll be worth it for 10 bucks and a little bit of pruning. Okay, let me hit up one more tree. One that's really small. You can see it's small enough that it's still got all of its supports on it. I believe it's a serviceberry that we got from our local soil and water district. And it's kind of cool because it's actually been snipped off by rabbits to like the height that I would prune it. So taking a cue from nature here, let's do that. Boom, boom. We'll just, throughout the year, we always keep an eye on all these tags or whatever, because we, just look around and make sure they're not choking anything. But that tree should do pretty well. Branch out a little bit this year, and then probably next year it'll look almost like that. But I suppose it's a serviceberry, so it won't grow that quick. But we still have a little bit more pruning around here, but I hope that helped. Try to get over some of the fears, like I have a lot of maples that just show up on this property, so pruning on those, seeing how those grow back helps. There's no, it doesn't cost me anything. And then end of year trees from like Walmart or other nurseries is a good way to do it, because some of these trees can cost up to 200 bucks. So I really don't want to make a mistake on those. So you just practice on the cheaper, easier ones, and then you gain the confidence, and then you can go from there on the bushes and all sorts of stuff. So I guess I'll thank you for watching, and I hope everybody's enjoying their spring. The chickens are happy with the new straw, and everything's cleaned out in their coop. So we're back to growing and trimming and pruning and enjoying summer. So thank you very much for watching. All right.